Welcome back, parents, to the Ages and Stages video series. I'm Dr. Audrey Robinson, the play therapist for Mesquite ISD, representing Best Care Anywhere, our MISD counseling services. One of my areas of expertise is childhood development, knowing what to expect from each age and stage.
I'm Lindsay Paris, Community Liaison for Mesquite ISD, representing Read, Play, Talk. My job focuses on helping families to maximize the benefit of reading, playing, and talking with their children every day. We want to help parents know what to expect at each different stage of development and how to support your child. We will be examining each age and stage from birth through age 12. It is common at all stages of development for children to move from times of being agreeable and confident to more explosive and self-absorbed at times. It's common at all stages of development for children to move from times of being agreeable and confident to more explosive and self-absorbed times. We're going to continue this series with 6-year-olds.
In our last video, we talked about rapid changes in body and emotion at 5.5, and this instability peaks at age 6. You may feel like you're getting whiplash from how fast your 6 changes his or her mind or mood. You may be worried about oppositional or stubborn behavior and even tantrums that involve hitting or kicking. This is a normal part of the 6-year-old's development. 6s are learning to flex their independence and sense of adventure, which is something they need to master within the appropriate limits of safety. To support your 6 through all their messiness and disobedience, provide a stable routine, sense of security, and logical consequences. In fact, we have a whole video on setting limits and giving choices. By 6.5, the mood swings become less frequent, and your child becomes more easygoing and loves to demonstrate their knowledge. You can encourage their love of learning by listening and acknowledging how hard they work, not just praising the finished product. 6 years old is prime time for brain development. 6-year-olds have increasing ability to focus and set goals, which are critical for mastering new skills and performing well in school. They are still sensitive to criticism and failure. Play contributes to the development of one of the most important brain functions, self-control. Play is serious learning for kids. Play is their natural language. The brain is pruning connections it doesn't use, so encourage play and creativity. Allowing kids to feel bored gives them the chance to draw on their own internal resources and imagination, so don't think you have to fill every minute. It is still important to help guide our children to regulate when they become frustrated with tasks or in play called co-regulation. We can also model how to handle frustration, anger, and sadness. Children who experience neglect, trauma, or don't feel they can go to their caregiver when something is wrong may have more trouble focusing, regulating, and following rules. Physical development is happening rapidly for 6-year-olds, and because of this, they may get sick more often, have more aches and pains, and even be more clumsy. 6s usually sleep and eat well, however, they still need good routines and comfort at bedtime to help prevent struggles. Morning routines can be frustrating for parents because 6-year-olds don't care much about hygiene, so try turning it into a challenge to beat a timer or a sibling for bragging rights. As kids are more aware of their own bodies and physical differences, they may be curious about what others' bodies look like. This is totally normal and even a great time to teach personal safety and cultural history. Avoid shaming your child for their curiosity, but do set limits about what body parts are okay for others to see or touch. Kids may even discover that certain sensations feel good. This is totally innocent and age-appropriate. Remember, kids don't assign the same meaning to these kinds of things as adults. Set limits about what is okay to do in private versus in public. Kids will pretend and model the romantic behaviors of adults they know or see in TV or video, so be sure to monitor their TV and digital content closely. If you'd like more information or help responding to your child around this topic, there are resources in the information section, and my contact information is at the end of the video. Let's talk about social and emotional development and the 6-year-old's inner world. They are growing more aware of themselves and others and notice the differences between what they can do in school and what their peers or older students can do. They are also aware of and sensitive to others' perceptions of them. They begin developing self-evaluation in 4 areas: academic, social, physical, and appearance. Their self-concept and self-esteem relates to how successful and confident they are in each area. Children need to see themselves as capable of doing things and feel successful. Otherwise, they may learn to believe that whatever they do will go wrong, and this belief could stick with them for the rest of their life. They still have big feelings and need support. Often at 6, they behave better for a more demanding caregiver and worse for the primary caregiver. They still love and need their parents. As they become more and more aware of the world around them, they may become worried about becoming sick or parents dying. As they become more independent, 6-year-olds value friendships more and are often affectionate and friendly with teachers.
In a year of opposites and growing independence, you can help your child's development in a few key ways. 6-year-olds may still reverse letters, but this is not an indicator of a disability. At this stage, they truly begin to understand numbers and decode words, not just memorize them. 6-year-olds should begin to read books independently that are appropriate for their age and will demonstrate sounding out or decoding unfamiliar words. Allow your child to pick books that match their interests to encourage reading in your home. And although your child might be reading books independently, all children benefit from having books read to them. 6-year-olds can often count by 2s, 5s, 10s, and identify money. By 6.5, they enjoy challenges and are often curious about how things work. Play is so important at this age. It's how kids relate and learn about themselves and others, and develop self-control and regulation. 6-year-olds work well within busy and noisy environments and are beginning to understand that there are rules to life and to games. They are also very competitive and want to be the best and may lie, cheat, or change the rules of the games. They may still blame others and avoid taking responsibility at this stage. This is a part of development to learn to follow rules and consequences. While you may notice that your child is showing more independence from family and friends, it is still important to be available and interested in joining your child in his or her play. This is a great age to implement family game nights with board games or card games. 6-year-olds love to ask questions and may want to hear the answers several times as they learn new information. They have a much bigger vocabulary for words that they understand when spoken to versus the vocabulary they can use when speaking. Children at this age will also begin to see that some words have more than one meaning, which helps them to understand jokes and puns and verbally express a sense of humor. At this age, children become better at describing what has happened, how they feel, and what they think. You may also notice your child begin to lie, cheat, or steal during this year. When you do, redirect with grace and patience as they are still learning how to be people.
Children go through similar predictable stages, but how fast or slow a child goes through the stages varies. If you have concerns or questions about your child's development, you can consult with your pediatrician, reach out to your neighborhood school, or early childhood intervention for Dallas County.